All right. Welcome, friends. I'm Kate. This is GI Yoga. And let's go ahead and get started and do a little yoga tonight or today, whatever time it is, whenever you get a chance to watch this. So, we're going to do a little cozy winter practice tonight. And yeah, like I said, let's get started. So, find yourself in a comfortable seated position in a chair or on the floor. And let's take a moment to check in with the body. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. If not, maybe find a place on the floor in front of you to soften your gaze and let the eyelids have a little bit of a rest. So the first thing we want to do is just a nice body scan. Just check out what is going on in the body. Notice where you're holding on to tension. Noticing if you have any tight muscles, sore joints, anything like that. And let's just take a moment and maybe, if you'd like, set an intention for your practice. Something that you want to get out of this that is a physical, a mental, and emotional reward for doing your yoga. All right, so next, let's check in with the breath. So what is the breath doing today? Are we relaxed? Are we rushing? What does the breath tell you about what's going on? And then when you're ready, let's play around with the breath a little bit. Let's do, for tonight, since we're doing a cozy winter practice, let's do what we call house breath. So we're in a nice, cozy little warm house, and we have 3 levels to this house. So we have the basement, we have the first floor, and we have the attic. So when you practice this on your own, you can add first, second story, whatever. Some people, when they've expanded their breath a lot, work up to an apartment building. So we're just going to start with 3 levels today. And on each level, we're going to have 2 rooms, except the attic is just 1 room. So we're going to start with an inhale breath, and we're going to inhale down into the basement. And then exhale. You can pull the belly button in on the exhale, and the breath comes up and out the nose. Inhale again. And we're going to go into both rooms in the basement. Left side and right side, and then exhale, bring the breath up and out the nose. Inhale again through the nose. We're going to go all the way down to the basement, cleaning both rooms in the basement, and then come up to one side on the first floor. And then belly button in, exhale, out the nose. Next breath, inhale in through the nose. We'll go all the way down to the basement, sweeping both rooms down in the basement, and then let's sweep in both rooms on the first floor. Left side and then right, or right side and then left, and then belly button in, exhale, let it go. Next breath, we're going to inhale all the way down to the basement. One side, the other side, sweeping up into the first floor, both sides, and then up into the attic. Just 1 room up in the attic. And then exhale out. This next set, we're going to go inhale into each room, and then we're going to exhale each room. So here we go. Inhale, down into the basement, both rooms. Inhale maybe a little bit more into each room on the first floor. Inhale into the attic. And then exhale from the basement, first room. Exhale, second room. Exhale, first floor, both rooms. Exhale, out the attic. So let's do that one more time. Inhale, down to the basement. Both rooms in the basement. Inhale, both rooms on the first floor. Inhale into the attic. And then exhale from the basement, first floor, both rooms, attic. Exhale, let it go. Come back to your regular breath. And that's a great breath to play with to build your breath on the inhale and the exhale. When you first start out, making both equal, the inhale and the exhale. All right, so we've been sitting here for a little bit. Let's get moving with the body. So I'm going to bring both legs out in front, and let's move the ankles a little bit here. So I'm going to come sideways, and I have my socks on, so you can't really see my feet, but that's okay. You can listen to what I'm saying and move your feet. So let's start with extending the heels away from the torso. You can have a little bend in the knees. And then when you're ready, we're going to point and flex the feet. So the exhale is toes pointing up. The inhale, we're going to point the toes. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. The other thing you can do with the toes is bend them and then point them and bend them and then flex the feet. So getting the movement all in there. All right, so let's move into circles with the feet. Sorry, I can imagine it. I just couldn't think of the words. All right, so we're going to move the feet, circles. So you can go both feet in the same direction. You can go the other direction. And then independently with the feet. So they can be moving different directions. You can also do one at a time. So if you have one ankle that doesn't move as equally well as the other, you can maybe concentrate on that one, give it a little bit more attention. All right, from here, let's just finish off with our windshield wipers. So the pinky toe goes to the side and then the big toe goes the other side. Like that. Excellent. All right, so from here, you are welcome to either cross the legs again or leave the legs out straight, whatever works for you. And then we're going to move up to the wrist. So bringing the arms out in front, tuck the thumbs, wrap the fingers, and make circles around with the wrist. And again, you can go same direction and then opposite direction, or you can go hands independently. All those different movements. My yoga teacher says motion is the lotion. That helps moving them, helps keep them moving. All right, release that. And then we're going to bring the palms together, interlacing the fingers, and then make figure eights. So they can be big circles like that, or small and tight. One direction. Doesn't really work to go the opposite direction, but maybe you can try. All right. Pull the hands away from each other, and we're going to switch which fingers on top. And make a few more. Excellent. And release. We're going to shake that out. And let's do just a little bit more. We've got snow coming down, so we're going to be out shoveling. So we're just going to give the wrists a little bit more love here. So extending one arm out, we're going to bring the fingers back towards the shoulder and thumb down towards the floor. And the other arm, fingers back towards the shoulder, pushing the one hand into the other, and then thumb down towards the floor. Excellent. Release that, shake it out. Let's come into our cat and cow. So if you're comfortable sitting cross-legged, you can stay like that. If you'd rather switch it up, switch which legs in front or legs out in front, you are welcome to do that too. We're gonna bring the hands in front of the knees if you're cross-legged, or under the thighs if you have your legs out in front. All right, so our first motion, we're gonna exhale and rounding the spine back. Drop the chin towards the chest. And then on the inhale, we're gonna round up, looking up, so the reverse curve. Exhale, this is our cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And then when you're ready, come back to neutral. And let's go to our lateral here. So if you have blocks and you want to use those, you're welcome to do that. So that looks like this. If you don't have blocks, that's totally fine. You don't need to use them. Just an option. So one hand on a block. We're going to inhale the other arm up and over. Exhale back. Second side, inhale up and over. Exhale back. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. All right. So let's move those out of the way. We're going to come into a gentle twist. So on the inhale, we're going to lift. On the exhale, turning towards one side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, second side. And it doesn't matter which side you go to first, as long as you do both sides evenly. Inhale, center. Exhale, first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, center. Let's go one more time each side. Exhale, first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Let's inhale back to center, and then we're going to come back to symmetrical with the spine. So we're going to do that cat and cow again. So hands under the knees or under the thighs. Exhale, rounding back. Drop the chin. Inhale, rounding forward, looking up. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. And let's go one more time each direction. Inhale forward and exhale back. Excellent. So coming to that neutral spine, we're going to come over onto our hands and knees. So if you have ouchy knees and you want to grab a blanket or a towel to put under your knees, you're welcome to do that. And then we're going to come, I'll come back a little bit further. Let's find that cat and cow again and see if you can notice the difference seated versus hands and knees in between each movement. So we're going to start with the exhale again, coming into our cat. Tuck the chin, round the spine. On the inhale, reversing the curve, looking up towards the horizon. Exhale back to cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And then we'll come back to that neutral spine. We're going to come into a spinal balance here. So let's start with first leg's going to come back, and you can start with toes touching up to horizontal to the floor. And then we're going to extend the opposite arm. So I have my right leg back, left arm forward. You can do either side, just do each side evenly, the same amount of times. All right, take one more breath here. And then release. Let's go the other side. Other leg comes back. Heel, extending back. Other arm comes forward, extending with the fingertips. Keep the breath moving. And then when you're ready, release. All right, from here, I'm going to do tiger tail. So we'll start with that first side again. Bend at the knee, bend at the heel, or sorry, bend at the ankle. So the sole of the foot is up towards the ceiling. We're going to take that opposite arm and bring it around and grab that foot. Pushing the foot into the hand, looking up towards the horizon if you can. Take an inhale and an exhale. One more here. And then release. And then let's take one breath in the middle. And then extend the opposite sides. Other leg comes back, other arm comes out and around. Grabbing that foot if you can. Looking up towards the horizon. Push the foot into the hand, and let's take a couple breaths here. And then when you're ready, release that side. And let's do a cat, cow, and child's pose little movement here. So we'll start with our cat. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat, down to child's pose. On your next inhale, you can come up through the forearms, up to cow. Exhale, cat, down to child's pose. Again, inhale, cat. Exhale, cat, down to child's pose. Let's do that one more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. When we get down to our child's pose, we're going to pause there for a couple breaths. If it's uncomfortable to be in child's pose, you come into puppy pose. Head down, hips up. Or in your child's pose, big toes come together, knees come wide. And then if the forehead can reach down to the mat, you can bring your head down. Or stack the hands and rest the forehead on the hands. Just coming into this restful pose. We'll take a couple of breaths here. And then when you're ready, let's come back up to hands and knees. And then we're going to come up to downward facing dog. So curl the toes. You can walk the hands forward. On an inhale, lift the hips up towards the ceiling. And we'll take a couple breaths here. And walk your dog, bend one knee, extend the opposite heel towards the floor. And then when you're ready, we'll walk the hands back or step the feet forward, coming into our forward fold. All right, from here, we want to bend the knees nice and deep, arms out to the side. Push in with the feet, inhale, hands come all the way up. Palms together, exhale, hands to heart. Excellent. All right, so we are coming close to the new moon. So I wanted to do some moon poses with you tonight. So the first thing we're going to do is a half moon salutation. So we start with imagining this little ball of energy. So it can be small, or if that's not your thing, baseball, softball, basketball, beach ball, whatever you need to bring in between the hands here. We're going to inhale, bring this up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to go side to side with it. So the feet can come out wide. And we're going to exhale over towards one side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, center. Exhale, back to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, center. One more time, each side. Exhale to the first side. You can drop that arm down towards that side body. Inhale, bring it up to center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, bring it back up. And then we're going to exhale and release. All right. Next, we're going to do a couple of other poses that go with the moon salutation. We're just going to do them separately instead of the whole string of them. It's a little hard with walls and ceilings, and we're just going to do it this way. All right. So the next thing we want to do is our horse and star pose. So feet are wide, our legs are wide, and then the feet are out at an angle. We're going to inhale and come into our star pose. The arms come up, so we look like a 5-pointed star here, like that. On our exhale, we're going to bend the knees, tracking the same direction as the feet. Bend at the elbows, and then you can bend at the wrist if you like. And then on your next inhale, we're going to extend arms out, straighten the legs, and then exhale back to horse. Some people call this goddess. Inhale back up to star, and one more time down to goddess. Excellent. From here, we're going to stand up just in our regular standing, and then we're going to come into a squat next. So if you don't want to go down too far, you can do it at the wall with one hand on the wall or use a chair. And the other thing is, if you've done this, but you haven't done a lot, might be something to do on a regular basis. All right, so legs are in a little bit closer. We're going to bend at the knee and then bring the elbows in between the knees. Hands can come to the heart. And we want to extend with the spine, nice and tall. Take a couple of breaths here. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back up and then do a couple more standing poses and then come down to our floor poses for this. All right. So inhale, pushing up with the feet, coming all the way back up. Excellent. All right. So next we want to come into a pyramid pose. And this is a forward fold. Feet are both facing forward. And we'll start by stepping one foot forward. And there's a couple of options with this pose. So you can keep the hands on the hips and just hinge at the hips and fold forward. That's one option. You can have the hands at the heart, folding forward. And then you can also have reverse prayer hands, hands behind the back. So on an exhale, we're going to fold forward. That front knee stays mostly straight, and we want to go just as far as is comfortable, and that you can come back up. You're going to inhale, come back up. All right, another option with this is if you have blocks and you want to use the blocks, you can come down to the blocks and bend the knees and then straighten them to come into it. But we're coming into this pose to have this triangle with the legs, but they're adjustable. All right, so that's your other option. Let's go to the other side. We'll do that side and then we'll do two more on each side. So step the second foot forward, pick your hand position, and then we're going to exhale and forward fold. Push in with the feet, inhale, come back up. Step the feet together. Let's go back to that first side. And two on this side. So we're going to exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come back up. And one more. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come back up. All right, step the feet back together and then we'll switch sides. So 2 on this side. Exhale. So this is our second leg forward. Inhale, come back up. And one more. Exhale. And inhale. Beautiful. All right, step the feet back together. So let's come down to our hands and knees, and then we're going to do our lunges, and then after our lunge, we'll do our triangle pose. Awesome. Okay, so hands and knees. If you have blocks and you want to use them, you're welcome to do that. If you don't have them, don't worry, you don't have to use them. So I've got them here. I'm going to use them. All right, so we're going to start with bringing one leg forward in between the blocks. So you can come straight like that, or if you need to, bring that leg around and then walk it towards the center. All right, so you can just rest your hands on the blocks and you can stay here. We're going to start, or if you don't have blocks, you can have your hands on the floor or up on a chair if that's easier. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is bring this pelvis down towards the floor. And then bring it back up. And again, you can stay right here with your hands on the floor or the chair or the blocks, or bring your hands up onto that knee. And then the next option is, again, to stay in any of those previous positions. Or if you'd like, you can bring the arms up towards the ceiling. And because we're talking about moon poses, we're going to come into Crescent Moon if you want. So that's going to be a little bit of a back bend. We're going to bring the hands back towards that back leg. And then coming back out, hands come to the knee, the blocks, the chair, whatever you need. And then we're going to switch legs. So send that leg back, bring the other leg forward. And again, hands can be on the floor or on blocks or on a chair. And then the first thing we're going to do on this side is send the pelvis down towards the floor. And then come back up. Hands can stay where they are, or if you're ready, hands on the knee. And then one more option here, bringing the arms up. And if you have your balance, you want to go into that crescent lunge with the arms coming back. And then we'll bring the hands forward and then down to the block. And we'll bring the feet back. Next, we're going to come into our triangle pose. So again, if you have blocks, that's great. If you don't, we can do it without. So we'll start with that first foot forward again. Actually, I'm going to flip around this way, but you can stay where you are. All right, foot comes forward. We're going to curl the toes of that back foot. On the inhale, we're going to lift the hips up and then pivot that back foot so it is wholly on the floor. And then we're going to straighten this front leg as comfortable. So if there's a little bend in it, that's totally fine. And then the hand that's closest to the leg that's in front stays on the block or the floor. And then we're going to bring this other arm up. So we're in our triangle pose. So that's a floor up triangle. Very nice. And then let's bring that hand down. Pivot that back foot, come down to the back knee. Release the foot. Send that front leg back. I'm going to flip around this way. But you don't have to flip. And then let's bring that second side forward. We're going to flip the toes of that back foot. On your next inhale, we're going to lift the hips up and then pivot that back foot so that whole foot is on the floor. Now this front knee again can come a little straighter if you want, or keep a bend in it. And then the arm that's closest to the leg that's in front stays. And then the other arm comes up towards the ceiling. So we have our triangle on the other side. Very nice. All right, let's bring that arm down. Pivot that back foot, come down to the knee, and then we'll bring the other knee back. All right, so we are down on the floor, and instead of standing all the way back up to do another half moon salutation, we're going to do it on a high kneel. So I'm going to pivot around this way, coming up to the knees and the shins. So I'm up like this. And if you have blocks for balance, you can put them out in front in case it's a little wobbly. Or if you have a chair just near you for the same reason. All right, so we've got this little ball of light, baseball, softball, beach ball, whatever you like. We're going to inhale, bring it up. And then going over towards the first side on the exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, back to center. Second time over. The exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, center. One more time each side. Exhale over. And if you want to drop that arm down to the side body, inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, other side, drop that arm all the way down. Inhale, bring it back up. And if you want to do baby back bend here, you can. Looking up towards the ceiling, bringing your little ball behind you. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, and release. Excellent. All right, from here, let's come all the way down to the floor onto our backs. All right. So feet up at the top of the mat, hands on the knees. We're going to roll down onto the flat of the back. And if you want, before you go all the way down, bringing the elbows and the knees together. And then gently resting the head on the floor. So the first thing we're going to do is a little Apanasana here. So start with knees are wide, and then hands can be on the knees, toes point up towards the ceiling, or hands can be on the front of the thighs. So front of the thighs, exhale, hands slide up, the knees come in, inhale, hands slide down, the knees go out. I'm just going to have my hands on my knees. We'll do a few quick ones here. Exhale, knees in. Inhale, knees out. Exhale, knees in. Inhale, knees out. One more. Exhale. And inhale. Beautiful. All right. So our next pose, we're going to do a full, what we call UPP or LOL. So feet are going to come down to the mat and then all the way straight out. And then arms come overhead with an inhale. On the exhale, we're going to bring the arms down, the legs come up. So that's our L. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. So this full version, we don't do the O part. It's just a line and an L. Inhale, arms are up above on the floor above you, legs are out straight. Exhale, arms come down, legs come up. Inhale, open. All right. We're going to exhale, leave the legs where they are, bring the arms down by your sides. And let's bring the feet into the mat, and we're going to do a couple of bridge poses. So let's start with just the pelvis here. On an inhale, we're going to lift the pelvis from the hip points like we have little strings here. Exhale, release. Inhale and exhale. And one more. Inhale and exhale. Next round, let's add the arms here. So we're going to inhale, hips come up, arms come up overhead. Exhale, arms down, hips down. Again, inhale, arms up, hips up. Exhale, arms down, hips down. And one more. Inhale, arms up, hips up. Exhale, arms down, hips down. Beautiful. Let's finish off with some Apanasana. This time, if you want, hands on the front of the thighs. Exhale, hands up. Inhale, hands down. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let's do one more. Exhale. And inhale. Nice. Bring the feet down. Extend them all the way out. Zip up the legs. Toes point up towards the ceiling. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms come back down. Inhale. And exhale. Let's finish off here with a little palming the eyes. I'm going to turn one of these lights off. And we're going to just rub the hands together. You can have your legs out straight if that's comfortable, or if it's uncomfortable, bend your knees, feet into the mat, rubbing the hands together, getting them nice and warm with that friction. We're just going to rest the palms over the eyes. When you're ready, release the arms back down by your sides. And let's get ready for our relaxation pose. I'm going to slide my chair a little closer here so I can bring my legs up on the chair. You're welcome to get a blanket under the head or over you. I'm going to actually put this under me to come up onto the chair for a little bit more cushion here. And then arms out by your side. Whatever else you need to come into your relaxation pose. Get any last little wiggles out. I have a little itch there. All right, itch is gone. Relaxing into the body. Stop resisting gravity. Just relax into the earth. And let's do a joint relaxation, walking down the joints, releasing any tension in them as you go. Starting with the toes. Release the toes. Release the ankles. Release the knees. Release that hip joint. Release the spine from the tailbone all the way up into the back of the head. Release the shoulders. Release the elbows. Release the wrists and fingers. Release the jaw, sorry. Let the eyes be heavy. Let the body just sink into the earth. Letting go of breath. Take the next few moments and just be. You're welcome to stay in your relaxation pose as long as you need. But when you're ready, bringing your attention back into the room, wiggle your toes and fingers. Roll your head side to side. Moving any props out of the way. As you roll over onto your right or left side. Using your upper hand to push up to a comfortable seated position. And to bring breath back into the body and find us safely on our way. Let's finish with a sun breath number 4. Call it a moon breath, but that's okay. We'll do it like this. So hands on the heart. We're going to inhale, hands down, arms out and around, fingertips touch. Exhale, arms come all the way down, hands back to the heart. And then you can switch which hand touches the heart first. All right, let's do 3 of those. Here we go. Inhale, down, out and around, fingertips touch. Exhale, bring the hands all the way back down to the heart. Second time, inhale. Fingers touch. Exhale all the way back down and around. And one more. Inhale. Fingertips touch. Exhale, hands come all the way back to the heart. And let go of breath. Bring the hands to the heart. Thumb touches. And I am so grateful that you could join me this evening. I wish you a peaceful rest of your day, and namaste.